Hi guys, today we're going to go over our math work that we are doing today. So if you go onto your Canvas page and you come all the way down here, go into the math 2 and go down to your August-September calendar. And if you come all the way over here down to today's date, August 25th, there's an order of operations spiral number 2. We're going to do this. It's a review and then we're going to submit this once we are done. Okay, so when I open it all the way up through here, in the upper right hand corner where mine says edit, you guys should have a square such as the bottom left corner of mine that has a square with an arrow. If you click that and open that and send it to copy to Notability, it will send it as a copy to your class. So create new note. I have this put into Math 2 2020 so I know which class it's for, and I will import. Once it imports, it's all right here for us. Alright, so we're going to do some of these. As we might remember, we did this yesterday, so make sure you are following along and copying this down. Up here, we're going to talk about our please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So it's our order of operations, so it's our parentheses. So I'm going to zoom in. Parentheses. Oops. It's our exponent. Exponent. Something doesn't look like it. I'm sorry, guys. Let me rewrite that. That's why I forgot an N. And then it's our, we put a D in front, so we'll just do division / multiply. Doesn't matter which one's first. And then S/A is subtraction / addition. So that is our order of operations. If you see a parentheses, you got to do that first. If you see an exponent, then that's next. Then it's division, multiply, or add, subtract. So it could be parentheses and then add, subtract. So you have to do parentheses first. Or it could be exponent and then multiply, where you have to do the exponent first before multiplying. So we're going to do a couple of these. We're going to do 1. We're going to do 3. We're going to do 5. And we'll do 8. So those 3 on the or 4 on the front page we'll do, and we'll do a couple on the back. So in here, our first step that we have to do. So it's the same thing we did yesterday. We simplify and then we explain on the right. So the first thing we see here is that there's work in parentheses. So we see these parentheses right here. That is our first thing that we have to do. So we're going to add those together. Okay, so our explanation would be parentheses. And then that's just going to be 8 in there. 3 plus 5 is 8. And then we rewrite the rest of the equation out. Our next step is, because it's 2 and then a parenthesis 8, even though there's still parentheses, it's not doing anything inside those parentheses. So all we do, 2 and then a number like that, is essentially written as pretending like I am multiplying right here. So that's what the blue dot's for, multiplying. So our next step would be multiplication. So multiply. And then we already know 4 is going to stay the same. And we have -2, essentially, because we have this sign here. So we're taking this whole thing here and multiplying it. So -2 times 8, which gives us a positive times a negative, gives us always a negative, which would be -16. And then the last step is, because we see it's a negative there, and it's subtraction then. So subtraction. And then that is, answering that out, 4 minus 16 will leave us with -12, because the negative is bigger than the positive number. Okay, so make sure you follow along being able to do that, because that's stuff that's going to come up throughout the year. Alright, now we have to do this order of operations. While we have a parentheses here, let me just actually, I'm going to write it like that. While we have parentheses, there's nothing we have to do inside the parentheses first. So it's not like 3 plus 2 or 3 plus 1 or anything like that. So we don't have to worry about parentheses yet. But we do have this right here. We have an exponent. So that's our first thing, because we said please excuse, so parentheses, exponent, multiply, divide, add, subtract. So our first thing we're going to write is exponent. And all that means is it's 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, so it's 3 2's times each other. So it's not 3 times 2, it is 2 times 2, which is 4, and then 4 times 2, which is 8, plus 4 parentheses 3, and 5 minus 4 parentheses 3 plus 8. So our next thing is we need to look at here. Is this spot right there, because that's a multiplying while the other ones are all subtraction. So negative 4, because we have to include that sign there because it's there. Negative 4 times 3, negative times a positive gives us a negative, leaves us negative 12 plus the 8 and a 5 right there. Now, like I've said before, multiplying, dividing, adding, subtracting, whichever one's in them. So multiplying, dividing, if dividing's first, then you do dividing first, not multiplying. Okay, so it's not that we have to do the addition. We're not doing this here first. We're going to be doing this one here first because it's the first one in the order. So 5 minus 12. Well, we know the bigger number is negative with that negative sign. So we're going to be left with negative 7 plus 8. And our reasoning, I forgot to write over here multiply. And then here subtract. And our reasoning would be because the negative comes first. Okay, so make sure you know that. Then lastly, we add these two together because we have the addition sign here. So that leaves us with 1 as addition. Now, you could do it the other way, where it's negative 12 plus 8, which leaves you with negative 4. 5 minus 4 leaves you 1. But there are times later on that it will give you a completely different answer, and you don't want to have that, because then you'll have the answer wrong. Okay? So let's look at this one here, number 5. So we have a parentheses. We have an exponent. And because we know that we do parentheses first, we have to do what's inside first. We can't do the exponent. So 4 minus 1 will leave us with 3 parentheses to the second power plus 5. So again, parentheses first. Now is when we want to do the exponent. Okay? So our next step, as I said, is exponent. 3 times 3. So it's not 3 times 2. It's 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 gives us 9. And we're going to just rewrite the rest like it is, because we did the exponent. Again, this here, that space there just means that we are multiplying. So negative 2 times 9. A negative times a positive gives us a negative. So that leaves us with negative 18. So we do the multiplication next, then the addition. Hold on. Okay, so always remember, multiply before addition, subtraction. Division before addition, subtraction. Okay, so now we do our addition next, because that's the last step that we have to do. 18 plus 5, because this is a larger number than this one, our final answer is going to be a negative number. So negative 18 plus 5 will leave us with negative 13 as our answer. Okay, now let's go on to number 8 here. Kyle completed the following problem. Explain how Kyle can quickly know that his answer is incorrect. Okay, so right here, we look at this problem. We have parentheses. I'm going to make it like this so you see it. We have exponent. We have subtraction. So we look at the first thing he did subtraction. What is our order of operations we said? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So that's a way I remember it growing up is please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. It's your parentheses first. Your exponent. Multiply. Divide. Add. Subtract. So he subtracted here before he even did the parentheses there. So right there, first step, we can just say here, first step should be parentheses. That's how we know he got that wrong. Okay, right away, right there, he did that wrong. He did the parentheses exponent next right and the multiply, but he subtracted where that should have been the last step that he did, not the first. Okay? Now, the last few items we're going to do. I'm going to do this one with you, and I want you guys to do number 12 on your own. That's going to be your check for understanding here. Okay, so make sure you do that part on your own. I'm not going through that. If you skip this box, you will not receive credit for everything. Okay, make sure you do this one. I'm going to highlight in pink. This entire box needs you to be done. You need to do that. So do not skip this assigned part right there, please. Okay, that's all I'm asking you to do on your own. Is that simple box right there. Now, we're going to look at 11, and then you guys will have time to do 12 on your own. So when we look at this and we're trying to find the missing number, all we're trying to do is essentially what we did last year. 4 times, I'm going to use the time symbol as a dot, x, because that's the missing number, equals 24. So hopefully you guys remember how we did this last year. You would end up dividing 4 on each side because that's multiplying there to solve the answer. So 24 divided by 4 should give you an answer of, hopefully you all got this, 6. Okay. Hopefully you guys got that. That's pretty quick and simple, hopefully. Now, over here, we have 15 divided by x equals 5. So we're trying to figure out what this would be. Okay, so hopefully this is kind of easier, that you guys should know that one, your multiples of 5. But your final answer would just be x equals 3. Then here, x minus 2 is equal to 10. Again, you're trying to find that out. Add 2 on each side. X is equal to 12. I know this is simple, but just trying to get your brains going, guys. Now this one, it says 4 plus 6 is equal to 2 plus x. So we know 4 plus 6 is 10 is equal to, we're trying to get this to be the same answer. That's what the equal signs mean. So 2 plus what number would give 10? Going through simple math, our answer should be 8. Because even if you minus 2 on each side, gives you 8 on that side and equals x. 10 minus 3 is equal to x plus 6. Simplify 10 minus 3 gives you 7 equals to x plus 6. Excuse me. If you subtract 6 on each side, leaves you as x is equal to 1 as your final answer. Okay, so make sure you guys have that done, 11 down as well, and you need to do number 12 here. You need to do this box here on your own. Okay, this is your check for understanding for the day. Make sure you do that. If you guys have any questions, I will be on the Zoom link today for our class. You do not need to attend, but I will be there if you have any questions or need assistance. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.